We don't want to exploit people and make unfair profit. We say that we are a part of this land, born and raised here, and now we are the ones traveling outside Kerala. If all of you go somewhere and ask what the monthly rate for cable TV is there, actually, what we are paying, you would have to pay almost 3 times the amount for the service, whether it's BSNL or optical fiber connectivity. Today in Kerala, Kerala Vision has had this for 9 years. With this, today in Kerala, it has become the #1 company with over 1.5 million optical fiber connectivity, even selling his wife's thali chain. By pawning their mother's necklace or even mortgaging the house, that's how most of the people who started cable TV back then managed. Not even a single rupee from any bank was available to us. They wouldn't give us any support or help. So what did we do? That's how we formed a society called Sidco. This became an authoritative bank for us. Like a cooperative bank, today its assets are worth hundreds of crores. We made one decision. No matter what happens, we will not increase the rates for our consumers. We do not intend to increase them. Right now, we do not see Jio as a competitor. Earlier, when Reliance entered the market, people used to say they were afraid. But now for us, Reliance is just, we have not yet felt them as a strong competitor in the Kerala market. In the same way, even if Elon Musk enters India with satellite service for Kerala Vision, the possibility of how that could affect us in Kerala is what matters. Or if it is the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, if his new company enters the market, we are thinking in terms of how that would affect us. Our perspective has shifted to that level now. Sir, initially they bought shares for 1,000 rupees. How did they achieve so much growth from their current situation?
They must have received it. Today, we have with us the leader of the Cable Operators Association, Mr. Praveen Mohanji. Welcome, Praveen Chetta. This video is provided by AVT Premium Tea. When we talk about cable TV operators, perhaps
the audience members watching this may not always fully comprehend the complexities. Such a model in the world we live in today exists only in Kerala. That is, in terms of financial strength, membership, and being service-oriented. Even in terms of being advanced and all that, the cable TV operators movement is one that competes with corporates. It's not just that they compete, it's also a tremendously successful model. To surpass 1,000 crores, it's no small dream. So, as the leader of the Cable TV Operators Association, I feel this talk should begin by expressing my thank you to everyone who stands with you. Absolutely, cable TVs came, SVC was formed. After that, Reliance came in. In all these situations, cable TV operators were extremely insecure. How did you overcome all that? Here, when you reach a place where people talk about 1,000 crores, there is a journey that led up to this point. Maybe there is a story here that can inspire all Malayalis. That's what I want to know.
Definitely. That's a very interesting question. In the beginning, this was considered a bad job.
Back then, when people said someone was a cable TV guy, it was a situation where you wouldn't even get a marriage proposal, right? At that stage now, each and every one,
it has reached a level where people feel proud. Not only are they proud, but everyone has become quite wealthy.
How did they overcome that? To really understand that, we need to take a look at Kerala in the 1990s. We can learn about that because we know there was a time when unemployment was at its peak. There were countless young perfects, well-educated young perfects who were wandering around without jobs. Along with that, people were heading to the Gulf countries. There was a beginning to all this. People going to the Gulf and then returning and so on. That was during the 90s. At that time, this concept of self-employment started to take root in Kerala here and there in a somewhat technical manner. Some young, perfect people who knew a bit about technology started ventures that could be called the beginning of cable TV. But what they did first was not actually cable TV. What they did initially was, through these cables, set up small amplifiers and broadcast video programs. They would play video cassettes and show movies to the neighboring houses. So only a few nearby connections would be there at first. It would be spread over a certain distance. So from one place, a person with a video player would show just one movie program. That was the basic form of this. How many houses would there be in Kerala? Around 25. It would depend on each area. For example, in Kochi, they would be a bit closer together. But at that time, in my village area in Kottayam, we didn't really know about it. We didn't even think about it. So such initiatives existed here and there in Kerala, in different places. Even after knowing that it's happening somewhere else, there might be people who started it in their own hometowns. So the system is like this, that is, TVs are present in the houses. Back then, if you wanted to watch TV, the only available option was Doordarshan. That's it. You'd have to set up 3 or 4 wires, and if the wind blew from morning onwards, the signal would change. So before watching any program, the main task was The effort was all about adjusting the antenna to watch Chitrageetham or the news. Back then, there was only 1 hour of Malayalam programming starting from 7:30. There was a time when we used to go and sit in front of houses that had TVs just to watch that Chitrageetham program. It was during this time, to be precise, that in Kerala, the first Malayalam satellite channel, Asianet, was launched. Sasikumar Sir was the one at the helm. He is still a close friend of ours and our well-wisher. That television channel was just starting up back then. Govindan Kutty certainly knows much better than I do about the various difficult crises that the channel faced during its very early stages, during those specific periods of crisis for the channel. Starting from there, a certain situation began to unfold. As a solution, the idea emerged to provide these channels through cable. This was to solve the problems of installing large dishes. As a brand new and revolutionary concept for the region, the cable television system was first introduced to the people of Kerala. It was during this exact period, when cable TV was just beginning to find its way into homes, that the historic Gulf War broke out. This was the first Gulf War, a major conflict that began when Iraq launched an invasion against Kuwait. This pivotal moment in history was also the same time that the United States military began its extensive campaign of attacking Iraqi forces to liberate the occupied territory. At that time, this became big news on the radio and elsewhere. CNN and others started broadcasting Gulf news and its visuals. So people found it extremely interesting, but there was no way to get CNN, no way to watch it. So when that happened, all of us who had just started as cable TV operators back then, since CNN was a paid channel, we talked to people at that time and had them buy the channel's box. And through this same service, CNN and BBC and others, once we started providing these services, it truly became a completely different experience for the general public. Beyond the limited scope of Doordarshan, there was now a remarkable new opportunity for viewers to watch dedicated news channels. As a direct result of this shift, people began seeking out more and more cable connections, specifically to follow the unfolding events related to the Gulf War, which captivated the entire nation. Later, along with that, channels like National Geographic, channels that people had never even seen before, started appearing. Back then, those boxes were extremely expensive, so not all operators could afford to buy and provide these boxes. Those who could afford it started providing such channels through cable. Gradually, this increased the interest in cable. When we say box, it was actually a star kit that received particular channels. Back then, there were very few distributors for it. I have seen my friend Subhash from Adore struggling for this. I was there with him during all the negotiations.
In that difficult moment, we found ourselves in a position where we could only acquire it by paying the exact money they demanded from us. It was a truly challenging situation because there were absolutely no other options available to us at the time, and we had to accept their terms regardless of how steep or unreasonable they seemed to be for everyone involved.
Even if this box has only 10 subscribers, they will still ask for the charge of 100 people. Back then, we were forced to pay for 100 people just to distribute our content to a mere 10. The intense struggle with those pay channels was truly one of the most significant episodes in our entire journey. So, where exactly did we find our major breakthrough? To be perfectly honest with you, it only happened when we finally transformed into a professional organization. That was the pivotal moment when ECV was officially launched into the market. Reggie Menon, a highly respected international businessman with vast experience, introduced the concept in an exceptionally professional and structured manner. Looking back at our history, we can actually consider him to be our very first major corporate client. He was the visionary individual who chose to invest heavily in the full implementation of this project. During that specific period of time, they were fortunate enough to receive an absolutely fantastic and truly tremendous amount of support from everyone involved in the venture. At that time, Shri K. Karunakaran was the Chief Minister of Kerala. He was a CM who supported new and innovative initiatives. They managed to successfully convince him that there was an incredible amount of untapped potential for the burgeoning cable TV business within the state of Kerala. In order to effectively distribute the service to households across the region, they realized they would first need to secure the necessary cooperation from permission to allow them to carefully lay their extensive network of cables through the existing infrastructure of the electric poles. The state government officially granted the necessary permissions and rights to permission to allow ACV to begin the massive task of laying fiber optic cables all over the state of Kerala, establishing a comprehensive network at the highly subsidized rate of just 1 rupee per utility post for the entire duration of the project. Before the widespread adoption of modern fiber optic technology, the world relied almost exclusively on coaxial cable for data transmission. These systems were the backbone of our networks, but they consisted of incredibly thick and heavy cables that were difficult to handle. Because of their immense weight and rigid structure, installing these lines required significant labor and specialized equipment. While they were effective for the time, the sheer bulk of these coaxial cables made them a cumbersome solution compared to the lightweight alternatives we use today. For many years, these massive lines were the only way to connect communities, serving as a heavy and complex precursor to the high-speed fiber networks that eventually replaced them.
When such a large company started expanding everywhere, the small rural operators came under threat.
The difficult situation they were facing was to either choose to become a franchise or to exit the industry entirely. They held the vast majority of the premium subscription television packages firmly within their control. For those providing service locally with just a few connections, this was a major threat. This was especially severe in places like Kannur district. This critical situation is precisely why the local leaders in that region dedicated themselves to finding a comprehensive and lasting solution to the problem at hand. They understood that the community was facing a significant challenge that required thoughtful intervention and strategic planning. It is widely recognized as a fundamental and deeply ingrained trait of the Malayali people to stand firm and resist such external pressures or unfavorable conditions whenever they arise. This inherent spirit of defiance and the collective will to protect their values have historically defined their response to adversity. By drawing upon their rich cultural heritage and a shared sense of justice, the Malayali community consistently demonstrates an unwavering commitment to maintaining their autonomy and integrity. Consequently, the efforts of the leaders were not just about policy, but about channeling this powerful cultural energy into a constructive path forward that honored the traditions and the resilient nature of the people they represented in that specific historical moment.
This pivotal moment in the industry's history was the primary catalyst that led to the formal establishment of the Cable TV Operators Association. It began when a group of independent providers realized they needed a unified voice to navigate the complex regulatory landscape and technical challenges of the era. By pooling their resources and expertise, they created a structured organization dedicated to advocating for their shared interests and improving service standards across the board. This collaborative spirit eventually solidified into the professional body we recognize today, marking a significant turning point for cable television broadcasting and ensuring that operators had the necessary support to thrive in a rapidly evolving market.
We too reached out to the local government authorities for permission to use the electric posts. At first, we were met with a refusal and didn't get it. So we decided to organize a formal protest to voice our concerns. Finally, we took the matter to the legal court system and successfully obtained permission to use the posts at the specific rate of 17 rupees each. Until that specific moment, we didn't have permission for that. That race was just like the competition in the movie Lagan. It was an incredibly intense experience where everyone involved felt the weight of the challenge, much like the characters in the film fighting for their dignity. We were pushed to our absolute limits, mirroring that cinematic struggle against overwhelming odds. The atmosphere was filled with the same desperate determination and pressure that made the movie so unforgettable for everyone who watched it. From our humble beginnings, we have steadily evolved and grown to the remarkable point where we are today, proudly providing high-quality digital cable TV services to over 3 million households and delivering reliable internet connectivity to 1.5 million homes across the entire state of Kerala. Our journey has been defined by a commitment to excellence, ensuring that every family from the coastal regions to the highland districts stays connected to the world through our expansive network infrastructure. As we continue to expand our reach, we remain dedicated to enhancing the digital lives of our millions of subscribers by offering unparalleled service and support in every corner of this vibrant region, making us a leading provider in the local telecommunications landscape. In the modern era, the scale of operations has reached unprecedented heights as service is now efficiently delivered to over 3 million individual homes, all managed from a single, highly sophisticated control room situated in Puthukad, Thrissur. This centralized hub serves as the nerve center for a massive distribution network that operates around the clock to ensure seamless service. When we look back at the history of this enterprise, it is truly remarkable to see how much technology has changed and matured over the years. What started as a much smaller endeavor has now blossomed into a critical infrastructure project that touches the lives of millions of people every single day. The technological advancements integrated into the Puthukad facility allow for real-time monitoring and rapid response, ensuring that every household receives consistent quality. This evolution reflects a broader trend of digital transformation and industrial growth in the region, proving that with the right management and vision, a single point of control can effectively govern a vast and complex system. The journey of technology is a testament to innovation, showing a dramatic shift in how resources are allocated and delivered to the public, marking a significant milestone in the ongoing development of the local economy and the daily convenience of the 3 million families who rely on this essential service. In a collective effort to build something sustainable, we pulled together small amounts of money from various sources and eventually formed a dedicated company, which we officially called Kerala Communicators Cable Limited. To ensure that the foundation of this new venture was solid and inclusive for everyone involved, the price of a single individual share was set at exactly 1,000 rupees, making it accessible for those who believed in our shared vision for the future of the company. Today, that remarkable company has grown to achieve a massive annual turnover of 11 billion rupees, marking it as a true leader in its industry. This incredible journey of success and financial growth all began back in 2007, when the foundation for this thriving enterprise was first established. Witness an incredible journey of growth as we scale from a mere 1,000 to a staggering billion. Our core success is centered on the fact that we successfully adapted technology in direct response to the evolving changes in the landscape. This massive leap forward was not just about numbers, but about the resilience and flexibility of our approach. By meticulously refining technology, we ensured that every shift in the market was met with a strategic counter-move, allowing our success to flourish. We looked at the initial 1,000 as a foundation, building brick by brick until we reached the billion-dollar milestone. The adaptation of technology was the key catalyst, proving that staying stagnant was never an option. As the world changed around us, our commitment to evolving technology remained steadfast, ensuring that our success stayed relevant and powerful. This narrative of transformation highlights how critical it is to remain agile, taking the lessons learned from the first 1,000 and applying them at a scale of 1 billion. Every step of the way, the integration of technology within our broader success framework provided the necessary stability to navigate complex transitions. We are proud of this evolution, moving from humble beginnings to a position of global influence, all while keeping our primary success at the heart of everything we do. The success of technology is a testament to our team's dedication to excellence and innovation. As we look toward the future, we continue to refine our success, knowing that the ability to adapt technology will always be our greatest strength in a rapidly changing world. From 1,000 to 1 billion, our story is one of constant adaptation and unwavering focus on our goals. Initially, we were filled with a deep sense of apprehension and genuine concern when DTH technology first arrived in our region, fearing it might completely disrupt our local services. However, we soon discovered that DTH satellite systems were not particularly well suited for the unique and challenging environmental conditions found in Kerala. The state's intense tropical climate, characterized by heavy monsoon rains and persistent cloud cover, frequently caused significant signal interference and frequent service outages. This made the technology quite unreliable for most households during the long rainy seasons, as the satellite dishes struggled to maintain a consistent connection amidst the torrential downpours that define our local weather patterns. As our organization underwent a significant transformation and evolved into a substantially larger and more influential group, we successfully acquired the necessary strategic leverage and collective bargaining power required to enter into high-level negotiations with major pay television channels. This newfound strength in numbers allowed us to advocate more effectively for our interests, ensuring that we could secure much better terms and conditions than would have ever been possible when we were operating as a smaller, less unified entity. By consolidating our resources and presenting a united front, we became a formidable force in the industry, capable of influencing market dynamics and demanding fair treatment from powerful media conglomerates that previously held all the cards in such discussions. This growth was not just about size, but about the fundamental shift in our ability to command respect and achieve favorable outcomes during complex contractual deliberations with various broadcasting networks and content providers across the entire media landscape. When Asianet made the transition to become a pay channel, we decided to take a firm stand by organizing a boycott strike. This protest was a significant undertaking for us, and we successfully maintained our strike for 33 days. Throughout that entire month, we remained united in our cause, refusing to back down until our voices were heard regarding the new subscription model. That historic strike occurred during a very specific era when women's daily serials and long-running soap operas were absolutely dominating the television landscape and capturing the attention of the entire nation. It was a period of intense competition and high stakes for everyone in the broadcasting industry, making the timing of our walkout particularly risky and uncertain. However, in a remarkable show of solidarity that we will never forget, our dedicated viewers decided to stand firmly with us through every single day of the struggle. They didn't just watch other programs, they actively voiced their support and waited patiently for our return, demonstrating a profound level of loyalty that proved the deep connection we had established with our audience was far more powerful than any temporary industry disruption or competing media trend. Throughout the entire duration of that significant and challenging strike period, I was serving in the critical leadership role of state president for the association, which meant I was responsible for overseeing all of our strategic operations, coordinating with various local chapters across the region, and representing our collective interests during every intense negotiation session that took place. It was a time of immense pressure and constant activity, requiring me to be fully engaged in managing the complex dynamics of the labor dispute while ensuring that the voices of all our members were heard and that the association remained unified and strong in its pursuit of a fair and equitable resolution for everyone involved in the movement. During those many months of industrial action, my daily life was completely consumed by the demands of the presidency, from organizing large-scale rallies and press conferences to participating in late-night meetings with government officials and industry stakeholders, all while trying to maintain the morale of our dedicated workforce who were standing firm on the picket lines in defense of their professional rights and the future of our industry as a whole. Our organization is meticulously structured and operates based on the foundational model of traditional leftist movements, emphasizing collective action and social equity. In its early stages, Elamarham Karim served with distinction as the very first president, establishing the core values and strategic direction that continue to guide our mission today. This structural framework ensures that every level of our hierarchy remains committed to the progressive ideals that were championed during Karim's influential tenure. By following this specific organizational blueprint, we maintain a strong connection to the historical roots of the movement while fostering an environment of shared responsibility and democratic participation across all our various departments and regional branches. The legacy of our first president remains a cornerstone of our identity, reflecting a deep-seated commitment to the principles of organized labor and social advocacy that define our collective purpose and future goals. We continue to build upon this robust foundation, ensuring that the leftist principles of our predecessors are integrated into every aspect of our modern operations and long-term strategic planning initiatives. This comprehensive approach to governance allows us to remain resilient and focused on our primary objectives, honoring the path set forth by Elamarham Karim during the formative years of our establishment. Through this dedication to our structural heritage, we ensure that the organization remains a powerful force for change, consistently upholding the standards of leadership and community engagement that were first introduced at our inception. Our commitment to this model is unwavering as it provides the necessary stability and ideological clarity required to navigate the complexities of the current social and political landscape while staying true to our original mission and the visionary leadership of our founding president. At this particular moment in time, we do not perceive the market presence of Reliance or Jio as a significant competitive threat to our operations. Instead, our leadership team is currently engaged in a very deep and comprehensive strategic conversation regarding the potential impact and future integration of Elon Musk's satellite service technology. We are carefully analyzing how this discussion might reshape the global connectivity landscape and what it means for our long-term goals, ensuring that we remain at the forefront of innovation while monitoring all emerging technological developments in the satellite sector very closely to maintain our edge. It is absolutely essential to recognize that our current strategic trajectory is not merely about preparing ourselves to compete with some of the smaller local networks that are currently operating within our immediate regional market. Instead, our comprehensive long-term vision and our meticulously designed operational planning are specifically engineered to position our entire organization so that we can effectively challenge and stand alongside the most prominent, influential, and sophisticated global business players on the international stage. We are looking far beyond the narrow constraints of regional boundaries to ensure that every single aspect of our corporate structure is perfectly aligned with the highest possible standards of excellence required to succeed in an increasingly complex and highly competitive global environment. By moving past simple local rivalries and focusing our resources on a much larger scale, we are preparing to engage directly with the world's most established enterprises and industry leaders across every continent and sector where we choose to operate. This shift in focus requires a fundamental transformation in how we perceive our competition, moving from a localized mindset to a truly global perspective that accounts for the diverse challenges and opportunities found in international commerce. We are building a foundation that is robust enough to withstand the pressures of global market volatility while maintaining the agility needed to outperform the most seasoned international conglomerates. Our commitment is to excellence on a worldwide scale, ensuring that our brand becomes synonymous with global leadership and innovation, rather than just being a dominant force in a limited local territory. At this exciting juncture in our journey, we are actively and strategically expanding our operations well beyond the borders of Kerala to reach a much broader audience across the country. This significant growth phase is already in full swing as we have successfully launched and started our comprehensive services in the vibrant cities of Kolkata and Mangalore. Our team is dedicated to bringing the same level of excellence and commitment to these new markets that our customers in Kerala have always enjoyed. By establishing a strong presence in these key urban centers, we are not only increasing our geographical footprint, but also ensuring that more people have access to the high-quality solutions we provide. We look forward to building lasting relationships within these communities as we continue to grow and evolve our business on a national scale, making sure that every step we take aligns with our core values of service and innovation. When you take a comprehensive and detailed look at the highly competitive landscape across the entire pan-India level, it is truly remarkable and deeply impressive to observe that 2 out of the top 10 most prestigious company are actually our very own company, originating from the relatively small but highly impactful state of Kerala. This significant achievement highlights the incredible quality, unwavering commitment, and the standard of excellence that our region brings to the national stage, proving beyond a doubt that even from a smaller geographic area like Little Kerala, we can consistently produce world-class results that stand out among the very best in the entire country. It is a profound testament to the hard work, innovation, and dedication found within our local community that we have managed to secure such a dominant and respected position within the top 10 rankings on a national scale, showcasing our strength and capability to the rest of India in a way that is both impressive and inspiring for everyone involved in this journey. This success serves as a beacon of what is possible when talent meets opportunity, reinforcing the idea that geographic size is no barrier to achieving greatness and earning a place among the nation's elite. We should take immense pride in the fact that our local contributions are being recognized at such a high level, reflecting a legacy of excellence that continues to grow and inspire future generations across the state and the entire nation of India.